about Bronny being better than some players in the NBA. Was it disrespectful toward other NBA players? Here's the tweet. Man, Bronny definitely better than some of these cats I've been watching on League Pass today. Expletive, lightweight, hilarious. And then a bunch of, head to the side, squinting, crying, laughing emojis. So the cats in question is the graphic you would see right now if you have ESPNU on TV. Teams playing at the time of LeBron's tweet. Who's he referring to? The Nuggets played the Raptors. Denver won 118-113. The Kings played the Pelicans. Sacramento won 123-108. Maybe it was someone on one of those rosters. He didn't mention any names, which is good of him. But maybe he's thinking about someone on one of those rosters, guys.
Jay, this is your world. Let me understand.
I mean, I got no problem with LeBron, like straight up, like positioning his son to be a top 10 pick. I mean, it's first off when you watch Bronny play, Bronny's okay, man. Bronny's good defensively. Bronny has great passing ability, athletically. He's starting to be built more and more like his dad. I'm not saying it's like an elite athletic ability like a Zach LaVine, but it ain't far off, man. And he shoot that thing differently too. Like if he keeps growing, he's on trajectory, I think, to be a pro, to be potentially a lottery pick. Like, I don't see anything wrong with what LeBron said.
And also, people develop at different rates. Like, just because it's generally a good rule of thumb, how good are you at what age? Because generally the aging curve is, like, similar for people. But some people take a little longer to develop. They hit their growth spurt at a certain time. They fill out. They get a little more bouncy or a little more fast twitchy at a certain age. The base seems to be there with this guy, right? Jay, would you say with Bronny?
I think, yeah, there is a base for him to be a pro, for sure.
What do you think, Key?
Oh, I don't have any. It's his dad. His dad knows more about basketball than I do. So if his father feels that he's better than the pros are right now, that he watched play the other night, what arguments do I have? I'm not LeBron James. I certainly would think highly of my son if my son was playing, and I thought highly of my son when my son was playing. So I don't have a problem at all about it.
I feel like he's being tongue in cheek though, right? Like it's like. Blank, lightweight, hilarious. Like, you look at something. I don't think this is LeBron James, or people just want to take him and say, well, Bronny's not better than this guy right now. Like, okay, like, fine. Like, Bronny's, 16?
Don't take it literally.
Like, don't take it literally, right? It's more so like, yeah, like with where my son is going, I'm seeing, and Key, you and I talk this way. Max, not so much you. But, like, as a player in the league, I'm like, man, that dude got $75 million over 2 years. That dude's not it. I do that's how you look at other people when you're in the league. You're in it. So when you're in it and then you're looking at your own kid and you're like, man, that dude got this deal. Come on, man, my son gonna get this.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting way to look at it. In other words, LeBron might be looking at it going, man, Bronny's getting a lot of criticism like he's really not all that. But meantime, I'm watching the NBA, and so it's kind of like a two-way thing. It's like these guys you're saying he can't be this. He could be he could be at least some of what I'm seeing right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, Key, you look at dudes like, man, I know without saying names, I know dudes in the league. I'm like, okay, like the owner knows somebody connected to a school who knows. I get it. You're the 13th guy on the roster. You're the 14th guy on the roster. You're a guy playing. I get it. I get how you got there. Cool. But then if I'm looking at my own son, if I'm in the league, I'm like, I know you shouldn't be there, but I'm looking at my kid saying, oh, no, you going to be there. You can easily be there. If he's there, you need to be there.
He should flex all his muscles to get his son where him and his family so desire he should be, whatever that means, right? Whatever team, wherever it's at, he should do that. It's going to be fascinating to follow and see, and because there's no player that I can't recall another son of a player of LeBron's stature that has lived up or even come close to what their parents were. I just, I can't recall anybody.
No,
I mean, LeBron
because when you're at that level,
LeBron is at a different level in a different world.
What are the odds that your kid could be that good?
What are your odds that your kid is going to be a Nike guy, a McDonald's? What's the Nike camp, Jay? The All-Star, what's that called?
The Hoop Summit or the Nike All-American camp?
Yeah, the Nike. What are the chances your son going to be in a Hoop Summit Nike deal, McDonald's All-American? Like, it just doesn't happen like that. You could be a good player.
Like, you could be Del Curry. You could be Bobby Bonds or Ken Griffey Sr., good players, really good players. But it's easier to pass that or to reach that than it is to be Ken Griffey Jr.
Well, think about this.
Hell, to be a lottery pick.
Who's the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball, Max? I know you're
Michael Jordan.
Okay, great. Where was Marcus Jordan?
Yeah, right.
Is Marcus Jordan anywhere close?
Where is Marcus Jordan?
Well,
I knew how to make you laugh.
Hey, you saying he's playing in the league?
Oh, he's definitely playing in the league. The league of his own.
Max, yeah, he's in the league of his own. But where does Marcus Jordan compare to where Bronny is? Like,
I'm not in a position to answer that question.
But think about that. If you want to quibble between LeBron, Kareem, or Michael, right? Michael Jordan's son, Marcus Jordan, where I saw him as a basketball player. Bronny James is different. Mm-hmm. So, like, Bronny James closer. If you're talking about upper echelon, where their kids are in comparison, where that Bronny James is closer to that than Marcus Jordan or his kids.
Kareem's son played too, though.
Yeah.
Kareem's son played. He just was,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Had a uniform.
All right,
Bronny's already exceeded
you guys
expectations.
Are ruining this. So who was he talking about? Was he talking about Keon Ellis, who got a minute in that Sacramento game? What? Was he talking about PJ Dozier, that got a couple minutes in that game? What?
Who's he talking about, guys?
Like, who's he talking? Was he talking about Alex Lynn, who got a minute in that game?
I have no idea who he's talking about.
Stop this. Let's do the radio thing. Who was he talking about?
Yeah, who's he talking about, guys?
Who's he talking about, Jay?
Thank goodness we're not part of the media. I don't do the radio thing. You ain't gonna see me say other man's names out loud.
Neither did LeBron, but he was watching someone. Like, someone inspired him to send that tweet. It's not just what you said earlier.
You watch NBA League Pass every night, like I do. You're going to see dudes who, like, as a player. I'm not saying you, Max, or Nuno, but as a player, I could be like, man, look, it ain't that different.
You see that every night?
Yes.
So getting burned every night that you see.
Hey, Max, I see it in the NFL every Sunday during the season.
Right.
Like, wait a minute, man. Why is this dude even out there? Come on.
Was he watching the Cavs-Celtics game on replay and saw Grant Williams trying to be slick and be like, oh, I'm going to make these 2 free throws and miss both of them and end up losing that game in overtime? Who was he talking about? Come on. Like, he was talking about someone.
Can't be Dellavedova was his
what is he, 50?
That was his right-hand man when they went 6 games with the Warriors when everyone was hurt.
Definitely ain't talking about Grant Williams. Grant Williams, nice.
Yeah, Grant Williams is a good player.
Well, whoever he's talking about certainly can't clap back at him, so doesn't matter. And even if he mentioned the name, what you gonna say to LeBron? Nothing.
Could you imagine how messed up it would be, though, if he mentioned the name? Like, good for him for not, because you idolize LeBron. Everyone's in the league. Oh, LeBron James. Then all of a sudden, LeBron calls someone out.
You're not gonna be. Well, it's different too. Like, and this is the problem with this, right? Like when people and Key, you and I both playing in this world, you recognize how difficult it is to get there first off. Right. Secondly, to exceed expectations when you're part of 0.1% of the world doing something. Right. So, like, you don't want to bring anybody down, but, like, when we're all in the room together, we know what time it is.
No, you never want to burn anybody up. But come on, Jay. You and I talk about certain players from certain universities that played certain positions that, they got a certain height. And it's like, come on, Jay.
But you don't say names, though, Keith,
you just don't say names. Like,
it gives permission to other people who didn't play to try to do the same thing. Like, you shouldn't be doing that.
To play in the NBA, rough calculation, you're 1 in like 80 million. I think it's something like 1 in 80. It's .00000.
But Max, that proves the point when Key and I hear people like, oh, that dude's a bum. I'm like, no, look, we might be able to call that. You can't call him that.
But for the fans, it's a consumer product. So for the fans, the standard is the league, right? So it's like league average. So if you have, like, is he MVP caliber? No. Is he a all-star? No. Is he a starter? No. Is he a rotation player? No. All right. Is he a bench guy? Is he replaceable? Are there guys in the G League maybe who could be there?
What do you say about Cope? What do you say about
Brian Scal said, and he's 100% right.
And he was a bench guy, right?
He was. But there was some high school player who challenged him, and he was like, "Look, man, I'm much, much closer to LeBron James than you are to me." And of course he's right about that.
But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you put it in perspective.
Yeah, if people are thinking if people are thinking that they're anywhere in the same universe as the worst player in the NBA, then
but it's funny, they do when they talk that trash like that. They're like, oh, you're a bum. I'm like, hold on, but you're a bum.
I don't think
you're a bum.
I don't think that's what they mean. Look, I don't think that's what they mean. But if
what do they mean? They said it. It came out of their mouth.
Compared to the other players.
Oh, God. What don't they
No, Max. You're way too smart. You're giving way too much credit.
That's true. Fine. Guilty.
You're welcome.
Way too smart.
Come on, Max.
Oh, that guy should have caught that. He should have made that shot.
Gotta make that catch.
Gotta
Ball's
make
coming
that
to 60
catch.
miles an hour.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
windy. You got one hand. The DB's on your back. You gotta catch that.
He
You've caught
makes too
so
much
many of
money
those.
for that. Yeah, like really? Oh, okay.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.